Hi, I'm Chris Stirewalt, and this is Power Play. You know what time it is. It's Take 5 time. The control of the United States Senate is contingent on the Republicans. If they want to keep it, they got to hold the Democrats to a gain of less than 5 seats. So for Democrats, they need 5 or better to retake control. And about $2 quadrillion is going to be spent in doing that while the country is litigating a presidential election. But we know that you are a big nerd, politically speaking, if you are watching this, and you might have some opinions. So we take your votes at Fox News First, at foxnews.com. You email us, foxnewsfirst at foxnews.com, with your votes. But sometimes we all need a little extra help. We need to talk to the experts. And I can think of no better expert for this, because I look at his website each and every day, than Tom Bevan, one of the founders of Real Clear Politics. And by the way, happy 15th anniversary to RCP.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stirewalt. I appreciate it. Yeah, we turned 15 this year. It's amazing, because on one hand, it just seems like it was yesterday that we were starting this little operation of ours. On the other hand, as you know, 1 year in internet terms, like triple dog years. So we've been through a lot. The evolution of the digital landscape from when we started to where we are now. 5,
the dinosaurs, the age of the giant insects, 2 ice ages, you ate a mammoth. It was a lot.
That's right.
15 years is a long time, but RCP is totally invaluable to me, so we're grateful for that. Now, tell me, because I know where you know to get the polls, so you know what the chalk is. What's your list of the 5 Republican-held Senate seats that are going to constitute the biggest battleground for 2016?
Well, the biggest target on the Democrats' list is where I'm sitting right now, which is Illinois. Mark Kirk is in. He's going to have an uphill battle. This is blue state with a presidential race at the top of the ticket.
Everybody agrees.
He's either going to be facing Tammy Duckworth or Andrea Zopp. Everyone thinks Duckworth is the automatic nominee. That's not necessarily the case. But whether it's Zopp or Duckworth, either one of them is going to be very, very competitive against Mark Kirk.
All right, moving on. What's number 2?
Number 2 is Wisconsin, just to the north, and probably nobody's more unhappy about Scott Walker dropping out than Ron Johnson. I think Johnson was hoping that Walker would be the nominee and help him turn out some votes in Wisconsin. He's going to be running against Russ Feingold. It's a rematch. Ron Johnson is going to be he's under a lot of pressure, trailing in the latest polls. So that's another big key state for the Democrats.
All right, number 3.
Number 3, lost my earpiece.
No, you're good.
Number 3 is Florida. Open seats. The race is wide open. You've got Marco Rubio's not running again, so it's a wide open race. Republicans, I think 50+% of folks in the latest race are undecided. And on the Democratic side, you've got crazy Alan Grayson, who's running against Pat Murphy. So it's going to be a barn burner down there.
Okay, so you think Florida. Now, I noticed you've got Florida ahead of, I assume I'm going to hear Pennsylvania and New Hampshire from you next. You've got Florida as more.
Pennsylvania's next.
Okay.
Yeah, and the only reason is because Florida's open and it's going to be a very, very close competitive battleground state in the presidential race.
Okay.
Pat Toomey, I think, Pennsylvania's a blue state, but Pat Toomey's an incumbent, and incumbency is valuable. But I do have him as number 4. He's definitely on the target list.
All right, number 5.
That's also a rematch against a Democratic retread, Joe Sestak. Number 5 I have is a tie between New Hampshire and Ohio. In those 2, you got 2 incumbents, Ayotte and Portman. And those states have very battleground states. And so I think they're going to be under a lot of pressure. They're going to be tougher to knock off, I think.
All right, so now Ayotte will depend almost entirely. There's only one candidate who looks able to take Ayotte on. She hasn't made up her mind. Maggie Hassan, the governor there. But out in Ohio, it's the race is on, and it's the first state where we saw any ads run this cycle. A Coke-affiliated group already dropping ads on Ted Strickland in Ohio. We've seen Portman close a little bit in the Real Clear Politics average of polls for Ohio. We've seen him close a little bit, but he's still behind. How does he overcome that deficit?
I do think the one thing we can say, Chris, is that Democrats are not going to win the Senate. They will not win these 5 seats unless they win the White House as well. And you know this. These seats are going to be. It hasn't happened since, I think, 1860 that a minority party has been able to recapture the Senate without capturing the White House at the same time. So it's going to depend a lot on who the nominees are and who ends up having the better night on election night as to whether I think Portman's going to be able to pull this one out or not. If Democrats have a great night, they win Ohio. I think Portman loses. If Republicans have a good night, Portman will probably hang on.
And that is a data point that you will hear repeated many times, Internet. You will hear it repeated many times that it has been 155 years since a minority party did not recapture the Senate without taking the White House. Now you've heard Tom Bevan say it. You know that you can chisel it into the stone because you hear it many times. Tom, we thank you. Congratulations on 15 great years, and we'll continue to keep stealing all your stuff.
All right, Chris, thanks a lot.
Have a great day. And you, Internet, you have a great day, you wonderful Internet thing. And make sure you send your submissions. What are your votes? What are the 5 states that are going to be the hardest for the Republicans to defend? Send them to Fox News First at foxnews.com. It'll be a delight. And we'll see you back here for more Power Play real soon.